Hi everyone, I'm Mel Gabbi, and this is the 30-day program for your spiritual awakening and personal power journey, where we are exploring a range of topics that help you understand all these aspects that support our spirituality, our mental health, our well-being, as well as some of the things to be aware of and pay attention to. So, what are we looking at today? Let's have a look. I have. Oh, so we are reflecting on your journey. So this is a good time to ask yourself, what have you already tried and what did you notice? And if you want some tips as to how you can do this and really utilize your own resources, your own skills and your own abilities to enhance your journey, then stay tuned. So the affirmation with this is I acknowledge my efforts and honor every step I have taken on my path of growth. So let's take a moment to pause and reflect. If you've been with me from the beginning, done the introduction and all the other videos so far on this program for this month, then you've already started in motion and done a lot of work. And I just want to say thank you for being on that journey with me. And for those of you that have shared feedback, it's great because it helps me as I carry on creating and moving forward with the things that light me up and that I'm passionate about. So you need probably a bit of space to think about this and your pen and your journal book. Think about all the workshops, classes, courses, retreats, or practices you've tried so far on your journey. What have you noticed, and you might not remember them all, about how you engaged with those experiences? Did you follow through and did you take action and apply what you learned? So I'll give you an example. If anyone's ever been to my Kent events where I do the Kent Wellness Festival, is one of them I do a 90-minute yoga flow workshop. I call it yoga flow because it's got several components to it. And I also do a workshop on change, grow, and transform. And that's got hasn't got yoga in it so much. It's got a few aspects of yoga. But there's more NLP, hypnotherapy, guided visualizations in that so that we can help people shift states quickly. So I teach some very simple but effective methods that people can take back with them if they want to increase their flexibility, their flow, release a sort of energy in their systems, start to feel happier, healthier, and create their own 30-day program. So, what have you noticed and what experiences did you engage with? And then did you do anything about it afterwards? So, if you got some benefits from those workshops, so if you felt more flexibility, if you felt more relaxed and more at ease, how have you then taken that knowledge and understanding and integrate it into your life? So, we have to be mindful that we don't become workshop junkies, that we're just going around. And having experiences is great, and having fun is great, and connecting with people. But some of them are going to be meaningful. And either you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to go to that sound bath once a week. I'm going to do yoga twice a week. And I'm going to do my journaling. And that's a great amount of time. Or you might come back and say, right, every day, 5 or 10 minutes, I'm going to do those stretches that Mel taught me. And I'm going to try them for a week or even a month and just focus only on that and see what happens. So, reflection is the key to growth. So, a trick to doing this is every Saturday or Sunday in the morning, the afternoon, or the evening, get your journal out and also not just the 30-day program prompts, but write down where you've been this week. So, if I give you an example, in Kent, I did a voice workshop, which was great. I'd love to do more of those, but I've no access to any of that where I live, and I'm out and about so much. That's hard to plan. I did a gong healing, sound healing workshop that we have got some in the area. So I can come online and have a look what dates I are and see if I can book onto some of those. And then I did some yoga with somebody else, and I thought, actually, I want to go back to having a class in my local area with a woman that I used to do it with a while ago. She's not a Kundalini teacher, but she's a very experienced yoga teacher, and I really trust her approach. I've also been to other conferences and workshops, and I might take copious notes. They come back and they just join the pile of other piles I've got. Um, And so sometimes you just have to decide one action that you can take from that. And sometimes it's very practical, like what I was teaching on one of the other videos about how you look at how you use your time and energy. That's an action. And how you draw the days of the week and put the times in into that, and you have a look at where all your time goes. And you might decide one action after you've done a workshop with me and say, do you know what, I'm going to draw one of these, I'm going to look at the end of the week, and I'm going to add all the other bits that I don't realize I'm doing at the same time. You know, it's a bit like your day job. What you get paid for, what's on the job description, you do way more than what's on there, and we don't necessarily capture that we've had that odd meeting, that odd conversation about the work that we're doing. So reflection is key. Sometimes we try things and move on too quickly without fully integrating the lessons. Other times, the smallest shift sparks a big transformation, and both are valuable. And I saw this with some of the clients that came to my workshop in Kent, and I think it was an hour, and we had time to chat afterwards as well. And I taught probably about 5 key exercises within that. I did some state management, timeline work, circle of excellence, and got people to think about what was going through their heads, how to shift that state, how to connect with positive experiences. Talked about quite a few things. We covered quite a lot in those 60 minutes. And I know for sure about 5 people had an amazing experience and something shifted in them. And the point is then, okay, if you felt that shift, and I was getting people to gauge every so often on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel? If 10's feeling great and 0 is not feeling great at all, feeling miserable and horrible, where are they on that scale? And then I do an activity, and then, okay, where are you on that scale now? Now you've done that activity. And if that's moved the dial, you only have to do that one thing that shifts your state. But like I said in previous videos, we can get stuck in resistance. We have our internal critic. If that doesn't work, and we'll go back into old ways of thinking. But there are some things from hypnotherapy training and NLP that I have brought with me and apply quite a lot. And tools that I can use to help clients that I think are really effective to get a grounding of where you are right now, to reflect on that, is to do your life audit, is to do the timeline work. And I go into more detail about that when I work with clients one-to-one, is to look at your well-being and the different aspects of your life, looking at the circle of influence and who influences you, and practical things like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So there's a whole range of psychology methodology that I bring in so that you can start logging your reactions and responses, and then you can gauge in 30 days, how have you shifted? Because if you just apply 1 or 2 things into one aspect of your life, it invariably has an impact on the others. So in this phase, I invite you to identify 3 simple daily practices that you can commit to for the next 30 days. So that might include this program, and that helps you connect more deeply with yourself and create new neural pathways towards lasting change. Remember, small, consistent actions build momentum, and growth is not just about perfectionism. So also take time to celebrate what you've tried so far and be curious. And if you've been very curious, I've got a couple of friends that I met. I think it was through the meetup group that I'm running. And we met in Birmingham one time where I was doing a talk. And they were back to back all day doing these different classes, lots of things they'd never done before, and the whole thing was about experience for them. And I know that some of them they will pursue, and others are like, yep, that was great, did it, not sure I'll do it again, or I'll wait until I can really get the opportunity to dive in. Because at festivals it's really good, you've got the whole day, you've designated that time so you can do the classes, but you can also relax and integrate. And if you've cried, been emotional, been triggered, then that shift and that awareness has to kick in. And also that is a shift in state and emotions for you, all part of the healing journey. So the book recommendations, again, is The Atomic Habits by James Clear. The song recommendation is Keep Your Head Up by Andy Grammer, uplifting anthem about perseverance and staying positive through the journey. So if you're looking for positive and uplifting songs, go into Spotify. I think you can use it as keywords and get a song list so that you can tap into that when needed. And then in terms of behavioral psychology, the research does highlight the power of habit formation and the importance of consistency in personal growth. And studies show, and I've mentioned this on other videos, that daily practices and actions over time lead to neuroplasticity, rewiring the brain to support the new, healthier patterns and beliefs. And the crystal to go with this is carnelian. It's a vibrant crystal and it boosts motivation, courage, and commitment to action. So we're going to finish on the journal prompts. What workshops, classes, or practices have you tried? What did you enjoy and what did you find challenging? How consistent are you with what you've been applying in terms of what you learn? And then what free, simple practices can you commit to that nourish your growth and connection to self? And you can use something that you're already using at the moment. So like and subscribe to my page. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. If you want to contact me directly, I've got a couple of spots only to do the Kickstarter sessions, which is 3 separate appointments over the course of 30 days. You just pay for that. And if you want to carry on working with me afterwards, great. If you don't, and that's enough for now, that's fine too. And the card that goes with this was the Hierophant. Again, that's about tradition, structure, and beliefs. Okay, so I look forward to hearing more from you and finding out more about what's working for you in the process. So I will say goodbye for now.